Hello, I'm Robert, this is Sam. Earlier today I was teaching a family that included a young man. The young man is quite tall, relatively thin, and I made one of the worst mistakes you can possibly make when you're teaching self-defense. I underestimated my opponent. Let me show you what I was teaching. Let me show you what went wrong, and then let me show you some solutions and discuss that with you. So, the attack was a strangle, and as I've said before in videos, a proper strangle is almost always done with a bent arm. If somebody strangles you with straight arms, you can basically just push away 9 times out of 10. But if somebody wants to exert strength, they bend their arms. And the defense that I have been teaching for probably 20 years comes from the Tai Chi transition from white crane spreads wings through to brush knee and push step. And the way it works is you take a hand up, you turn the waist, and that clears the arms from your throat. You may be lucky and actually sort of trap somebody, but the main thing is to get the hands away from your throat. And I've taught it a lot, and it's worked a lot. But 2 significant things, maybe 3, caused it to fail. First thing, possibly, because the person I was working with was quite young, possibly I did it a little slower than I should have, which gave the attacker time to adapt, respond, if you like. But what happened was his hands, his arms, were very strong and very sort of thin, and he was light. And as I did this, what happened was the attacker basically was just carried round that way whilst still strangling me, right? So I said, that seems a bit odd. Let's do that again. This time, strangle me harder. I have no idea why I said that. It was a big mistake. So he strangled me harder. I did this. He went round there, and it's now about 4 or 5 hours since the event, and my neck still hurts. Basic rule of being strangled: when somebody comes to strangle you, move away quickly. But what can we do about it? Well, we looked at the opening move of Tai Chi, where the hands come up. We looked at bringing the hands up on the inside. That is a possibility. It will work sometimes. You can also clasp your hands together, bring them up on the inside, and at the same time threaten the face of your attacker. You can obviously go over the top, whatever works for you, and attack the eyes. That will work, except it is possible, if I can just do the strangling, if I was doing the strangling, okay, I'm wearing glasses anyway, but it could be that my head is down a bit and I'm like moving, so it's actually difficult to get the eyes. So I gave it some thought, and I realised in Tai Chi there is another potential solution to this nasty problem of being strangled. The technique in Tai Chi is called Fair Lady Works Shuttles, or Jade Lady Works Shuttles. In the scenario of the strangle, if you were, as soon as that strangle went on, to slap the person, to put pain into your attacker, even a little bit, come round to here where their hand is on your throat. The advantage of coming round to here is that you know exactly where that hand is. You're not fishing for it, it's just going to be there, and your hand will be on their hand. Then this hand comes up, you rip a couple of fingers back. I would always say go for 2 fingers rather than 1 or 3. 3 can be too strong. 1, if you were to rip this finger, even if you ripped it off, the amount of pain might not be enough to deter somebody who was seriously trying to hurt you. 2 fingers, if you're lucky enough and you can get it, should give you leverage. It's unlikely that they will both break quickly. You don't mind if they break slowly. So the strangle comes on, you hit, you come round here. You push up with this hand as you're pulling down and back with this. So it is similar to that. In Tai Chi, you are trying to learn shapes and movement patterns. You are not trying to learn, if he does A, I have to do B. So here, slap, come round, push. I only got 1 finger that time. Slap, come round. I've got 2 fingers this time. Let's concentrate on the fingers. Slap, grab the fingers, pull them this way. Now, even, correct me if I'm wrong, Sam, but there's not a lot of pain there, it's just mechanical awkwardness. But do you notice this hand has come free as well? Even if it only came free a little bit, that would give me quite a substantial advantage. And if I get it absolutely right, bang, 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 that is going to allow me to deal with that problem. Now, the thing is, however, and I've said this many times, every technique works, every technique fails. What is perhaps more important, if you could strangle me, what is more important than maybe having an alternative technique to this, or an alternative technique to that, or an alternative technique to that? The thing that is more important is having the mental facility to realise that if A doesn't work, you must go to B. So in other words, if I was to go for the eyes, and oh, that's a really good example there, I can't reach them. So immediately that happens, I've got to do something else. If that doesn't work, I've got to do something else. You have got to practice, not just to get techniques to work, but you've also got to practice in such a way that if a technique fails, you have a backup. I'm going to keep this video fairly short, so thank you for watching. We're actually now going to do a slightly longer video on some more general self-defense principles, and hope to see you there too. Thank you.